So let's pivot real quick. Just briefly touch on a couple potential draft picks the Mavericks could look at. I did some research into some of the top 10 projected guys right now. I think you said
Hmm.
earlier, record wise, lottery not considered, the Mavericks would be the fourth pick right now, correct?
Fourth pick, but the Magic just won their game, so I actually need to update that to see. 'Cause they just beat the Cavs. And it just goes to show you that the Cavs really need help.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. So Mavericks
and
are looking somewhere 3, 4 in that range.
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, there's a lot to like. I think coming out of the draft this year. At the very
Wait a
top.
minute.
What?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Did Atlanta win today too?
I don't know.
Because right now we are number one.
Oh, we're the number one pick right now. Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Huh.
Which is not yes for who I want, but yes, that
Okay.
we're the number one pick.
Gotcha. Um.
Yes. So this draft is weird. Not really weird, but okay, so let's go back a year from now, right? If we were to look at the mock draft that we did for Sports Anytime, I think we were 80 to 90% correct. Other than we just didn't see that Bulls
Yeah.
trading into the top 10
Right.
drafting Larry Markkinen.
Yep.
Um,
And I don't think I was
this
very
year
high on him. I was definitely off on that.
we were not high on him at all.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we knew he could shoot, but everyone started calling him the next Dirk. And in my head, when someone is called the next thing,
Anything. Yeah.
yeah, that's a. But anyway, um, so yeah, this draft definitely. I First of all, the last teams they're so jumbled up.
Right.
We have no clear cut number one like we did last year. We
Yeah.
don't even have. It's weird. So I mean, I've probably seen out of all the mock drafts I've seen, four four different number ones,
Hmm.
and I've seen probably two. I've seen two people make their way out of nowhere, start being projected as top five players.
Okay.
So it's like, man, like month we're going to see,
Oh yeah.
some
It's
more players, some more shakeups.
yeah. It's
So
absolutely
it's
gonna
definitely
evolve a
harder.
ton.
It's definitely harder than it was to project last year.
Mm-hmm.
Than it was last year. Even though this draft is not as deep as it was last year. So, for example, for the Mavericks, if we had the ninth pick, I definitely do not think we'll be getting a player on the caliber of a Dennis Smith, because I think eight, right around eight, that's where you see, I think, a
A
major
big
drop
drop
off.
off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that
Um,
in that top 10, we got guys like DeAndre Ayton,
hmm
Luca. What is it? Luca Doncic.
Luka Doncic
Doncic. Okay.
or Doncic or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
And of
the
course you
name.
got like your Marvin Bagley the third from Duke.
Hmm.
A lot of freshmen in here. There's only I think one upperclassman I saw, and that
Hmm.
is the guy to Villanova. What is his name?
Mikal Bridges.
Yes. Yeah. So small forward from Villanova.
Uh-huh.
Definitely there. His skill set I like a lot. He's definitely a good two-way player, and
Yep.
it's a skill set that I think any team in the NBA can certainly use. And I think he's got like a 7 foot wingspan too. So he's got
Yes.
the build, he's got the two way ability. I don't know necessarily that he's great at any particular thing, but I think he's very strong at several different things, and then of course he has the build to go with it. So that there's any team can make a role for a guy like that.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's one of the guys you were researching yesterday.
yeah, of course I looked into him. Trae Young was the no brainer that I looked
Of
into.
Of course, yeah, you freaking OU.
Not to be fair,
Um,
I'm not trying to say he's a fit for the Mavericks. I just went ahead
oh,
and took a look at the
he's not,
profile.
I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of hating on him, uh, the Trae Young, because everyone's saying the next Steph Curry. So red flag for me.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
it's overkill. I admit that, but he is a phenomenal player.
yeah, I was gonna say I actually sat down and watched him.
Hmm.
That kid can ball.
Yep. He
He's
went
one
to
of
my
those
high
guys that
school, Norman
Norman North or
North.
something like that.
Yep, Norman North.
Yeah, he's balling out. But let's see. Mikal, I'm trying to look up what I have for Mikal
Let's see. So he
Bridges.
continues to shoot the ball well from the outside and display a solid
Hmm.
feel for picking his spots. He's been placed in an ideal situation playing off of Jalen Brunson. This is just like
Yeah,
the
who's an
quick draft profile I see.
upperclassman.
Yep.
Yeah.
NBA fit as a
Um,
supporting piece should be similar. An impactful perimeter defender is what they're saying for him. He can
yeah.
guard
So
four positions.
yeah. So his bread and butter is definitely going to be defense and ability to hit the
Yep.
outside shot.
Yep.
And I mean, just like you said, just like we say with Wes Matthews, anybody that is a D3 type person
Yep.
has value
Yep.
automatically, especially how the league is going to nowadays. If you have length and switchability, now that's actually a real term now that I'm hearing a lot from scouts.
Mm-hmm.
If they have switchability, that's a lot of value. So definitely, that's a dude that if the Mavs, let's say, fell down because of the lottery,
Yep.
I could talk myself into being excited about as a
Okay.
guy like Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and he's probably going to go around uh, 10. I mean, I've seen him go 7. I've seen him go 10 on different mocks.
yeah, I see him listed
Uh,
at 9 on the Sports Illustrated
yeah, I've seen him
projections.
go as low as 12.
Yep.
So I mean, he's definitely all over the place, but definitely has um, the type of skill set that's very translatable to the NBA.
Okay. So let's say the Mavs do end up being a top 5, maybe even a top 3 pick. Who do you think they should look at if they're that high in the order?
Okay, so I think the top 3 players on the Mavs
Board.
board will be DeAndre Ayton, center from Arizona,
Arizona. Yep.
Luka Doncic, the young cat overseas.
Isn't he a point
Um,
guard?
he okay, so I remember when we talked about him last time. I thought he was a shooting guard,
Uh huh.
but I looked into him. He's like 6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'8",
Uh,
6'8", 220.
he's a yeah,
And he's
he's a
only
big
18.
dude. He's a big dude,
Mm-hmm.
and he can make plays, and he's smart,
Yep.
able to shoot.
He's more
So
crafty than explosive. It sounds like.
so yeah, definitely one of his knocks on him is his lack of athleticism and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But we've seen guys like Ginobili
Sure.
make a living off of being crafty in this league.
Yep.
So I have talked myself into being really excited because if you see what he's doing up there and overseas, I think he's averaging somewhere around like it was like 16 points a game, something like that, and overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Which how their stats work overseas, as you may know, but for the average person, you say a dude's averaging 60 points overseas, that's not that good. Um, Kristaps Porzingis, before he came in the league, he was in the same league that this guy was in,
Okay.
Luka Doncic. I think he was averaging like 12.
Hmm.
Like young people do not get playing time in that league.
Yeah.
Mad numbers over there. So that's sending, um, you know, scouts. Scouts are going crazy, saying that he's probably the best European prospect ever
Yep.
coming out. And then I'm seeing him go as high as number 1.
Hmm. Yeah. He's
Multiple.
2 on this board. So yeah.
Yeah. I
Um.
mean, I've seen him go as low as 7.
So is he?
I've always seen that once.
Would you say he's a ball dominant player though? Would it be something where if he was in Dallas, Uh, basically,
his
would we avoid a Rondo Monte situation where both guys need the ball?
okay. Um, for him to be at his absolute best, he'll need the ball in his hands.
Yep.
But his skill set, because he's so smart, because he's crafty, he's the type of dude that he can learn and he can shoot well. He
Okay.
can learn how to play off the ball as well.
Okay.
Um,
So maybe not a
he's
perfect
so
fit, but still quite
he's
capable.
not a perfect fit, but especially with a coach like Rick Carlisle,
Yeah.
he'll be able to fit with Dallas and we'll find a
Yeah,
way to make it
Carlisle
work.
would love a guy like that.
Because Carlisle definitely loves his savvy type players and
Yeah.
someone that he'll be able to have a lot of fun with in Luka
Okay.
Doncic. So seeing him, I know I wasn't super high on him last time we talked, but I've done some more research.
Sure.
I've aged a little bit, and I will be able to talk myself into definitely being excited, ecstatic, if you will, about drafting Luka Doncic.
Okay. And you had Ayton as your other
Yeah.
guy for the Mavs, the center.
Ayton is the other guy. So Ayton,
7'1", 260. That's a big dude.
gosh, he's a huge dude. I think he's only 19.
Yep.
He looks like he's a grown man.
Great
Okay, so he
elevation.
looks grown. Yeah, he looks grown, but he doesn't look Greg Oden grown, which is good.
Yeah, which is yeah.
Yeah.
So
Remember
let's see.
Greg Oden
Soft touch at the
in
rim.
college looked like he was 40. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. So
So
soft touch at the rim, promising jump shot,
mhm.
good
he's
elevation
able
when he
he's able
rebounds.
he's able to stretch probably to around the 3-point college 3-point level.
Okay.
Not sure if he'll be able to hit that pro 3-point, but if you have a center that's like him, 7'1", great length, great athleticism, and can stretch out a little bit and be respectable, especially at the rookie level,
Yeah.
be respectable at hitting a jumper from 16, 17 feet away, definitely something you can work with.
Yeah.
Now, the knock on him I'm seeing
Defense.
is defense, exactly.
Yep. It says it's a work in
But they
progress.
do,
The scouting
it's
report.
exactly, yeah. So with his measurables, he can move so well. It's the only thing it's his timing that's a little off.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a dude that's athletic and it's a 7'1". You will think, and I think he has like a 7'5" wingspan too. That's the makings of your typical shot blocker,
Yeah.
your rim protector for the league. But that's something that he's still working on. But with his measurables, if he gets good NBA level coaching, that's something that people can probably work around. Not necessarily shot blocking, but definitely he can learn how to be an effective rim protector and alter some shots at the rim and stuff like that. And then also he's a great rebounder. So boom.
Cool.
So I can if his fit with the Mavs, obviously he will be the starting center from the jump. Great. I'm sure he'll be able to catch the lobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll be able to. Rick Carlisle will be able to use him in such a way that he will be effective. I'm posting up. Maybe he's like you said, he's a huge dude.
Yeah.
260.
It sounds like his
I haven't
low
seen
post
his
game is evolving too.
Yeah, so I'm seeing. He has a shot. So if you teach him, fadeaways and how to face up and switch up your game a little bit, he can be generational type of big. Your type like your Shaqs or your I forgot another center, but yeah, those type of guys, Shaq level impact, not necessarily game wise, but impact to the game.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, cool.
Yep. So my third guy.
Oh yeah.
I think the number three guy on the Mavs big board.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what a lot of people were thinking. Because if I went through the top three people, you're going to be like, oh, it's probably Marvin Bagley from Duke. It's actually not. I think it's actually Michael Porter.
Yep.
Now, the reason why it's probably going to be Michael Porter, if you let's go through the top teams in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of Boston, what do they all have in common?
What do
they have?
Oh, what do they have in common?
What do they have in common?
Game-changing small forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what Michael Porter is going to be if checks out with his back injury.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it said he had back surgery, so that's no joke.
Yeah, exactly.
6'10",
that's on everyone's
215.
fear. But with this guy, what I'm hearing, elite level shooter,
Mm-hmm.
elite level, playmaker, elite level length, 6'10".
Can play either forward spot. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So he's interchangeable with Harrison Barnes. We can play him at. So that's how I see him fitting.
Good
So
ball
I mean, if
handling.
everything checks out, yeah, good ball handling, catch off the shoot off the catch. Probably can create his own shot too. Um, so definitely, he's that type of player
Yeah.
that if everything works out for him, he can be a franchise changing type player.
Yeah, it sounds
Now
like the only
imagine,
knocks on him this thing has are the health, and this one's kind of a grain of salt, just saying he has a tendency to be a ball stopper typically when the ball
yeah,
comes to him. So that's the only two knocks, but obviously the first one's a really big concern, I think. That's the one that I would be really paying attention to in
yeah,
the draft.
yeah. So definitely, and what's good about him too is, I guess with his situation, with his medical stuff. I mean, he basically has control on where he would want to go,
Dennis
and
Smith, he
I
wouldn't give his
can,
records to New York.
yeah, exactly. And there's actually a video out there. I'm actually going to post it to you. Maybe you can put it on the prospects website. There's a
Sure.
YouTube video of him and Dennis Smith playing 1-on-1 at some camp.
Nice.
So yeah, so they've
So
been to
some
camps together. They
familiarity
know
there,
each
yeah.
other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm playing with Dennis Smith. And imagine if everything works out, we'll have our Russell Westbrook comparison dude and the Kevin Durant comparison dude, because that's what everyone's comp is for
Porter.
I just forgot his name, for Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, is Kevin Durant. So we'll have our Russell Westbrook comp and our Kevin Durant comp. Boom.
Not bad.
And Jeff Green, better than Jeff Green and Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
We'll have the young 23 win
Oklahoma
Oklahoma
City
City Thunder, which they were one of the funnest teams to watch,
team. Yep.
even though they weren't good, but they won 23 games.
They lost so many
The
close
very
games
next
that
year,
year.
yeah,
I probably went to
it was
like
a funny.
15 of
That was
those
the time when I was a
games.
huge Thunder fan.
Yeah, I
And
probably
then
went
the
to
very
like
next year after that,
15 of those games that year. It was their first year in OKC, and I had just moved back at the time, so I was there like every weekend
yeah,
basically.
yeah, and then the very next year after that, that's when they were the
Western
eighth seed in the
Conference
playoffs.
Finals,
So,
yeah.
um,
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
yeah, so
Yeah, it was 8 seed. Was it swept by the Lake? No. They
it was
they
no, no,
rallied
no,
back.
no,
It
no. They
looked like
lost
it was going
in
to be a sweep. They lost at
yeah,
game
I think it was
6.
in 5. It was either 5 or they lost in 5 or 6, I believe.
I think it was 6, but they were down like 3-0 or something, and then won a couple, and then
Yeah,
took it to the buzzer of the
yeah,
last game. But anyway, I
yeah.
digress. Okay, yeah, so that's definitely some prospects for us to keep an eye on and everything. I think
Yep.
we're
Uh,
approaching the end of the window here. Is there another quick thought or something you have kind of in summary on that?
well, let's say if the Mavericks are able to pull off um, a trade to get back in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
most likely when to happen is, man, if okay, let me back up a little bit. If Kristaps Porzingis is okay and he's one to play, who's still one to keep his drive up to go to the playoffs,
Yeah,
I think that trade is the better trade, and it's probably more likely to happen than the Cleveland trade.
gets you a better first round pick too.
Yeah, it gets you a better first round pick, and you don't have all the LeBron baggage that's
Sure.
holding back the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, because they don't know what to do, because they don't know what LeBron wants and stuff like that. And obviously
Right.
they're trying to tend to LeBron and all his needs, but at the same time keeping themselves their heads above water just in case he leaves again, because they don't want to happen. They don't want what happened last time he left. So that's why they're still holding on to the pick.
Sure.
Um, but anyway, so if we did get the 12th pick, I want you to look into Troy Brown. I forgot what college he plays for, but
Okay.
look into him.
Sure.
I think he's your 3. Let's say if the Mavericks end up picking like Doncic or DeAndre Ayton,
Hmm.
I'd say right now, because right now the website I'm looking at is Tankathon, and they update their stuff like every second.
Okay.
So literally, when the Magic won, the Mavericks went number 1,
Hmm.
and we were literally number 4 when I looked at it as I was heading home from work. So and their what was it? I keep losing my words. I'm sorry, but they're mocking them to draft DeAndre Ayton. So let's say if we get a guy like DeAndre Ayton, awesome. Who's going to be another guy that we can get if we were to trade for that number 12 pick?
Yeah.
Troy Brown, small forward, D&3 type guy. Definitely would love to have him.
Yeah, and you
So
never know if there could be, as we saw this past draft, you could have a guy fall a little bit. We had one guy, I think, in our top 10 that slipped out just a little bit, but we had him at like 7 and he fell to like
Malik,
11.
Malik Monk.
Yeah, you could
Mhm.
have a situation like that, and suddenly you do get your Michael Porter that you want. You might get him and Ayton. Imagine
Don't do that to me, bro.
that. But yeah, we'll hopefully be able to get a little bit more routine going with these Mavs fast break shows and everything like that. Now that
Yep.
football's over, it's time to dig into basketball season without
Yep.
distraction. So,
Now it's
yeah,
gonna be fun. Hang in there, Mavs fans. Definitely try to find the silver lining.
yep,
Dennis Smith is getting a lot more playing time. We're getting closer to being eliminated from the playoffs, meaning more young guys are going to play, which is good
yeah,
because I get tired of watching Dennis Smith leaving the games
for
or
Berea and
leaving, yeah, for Brea and whatever. It was like, literally, I don't like they don't move the needle for me anymore.
right,
Like, I get it. Devin Harris was there in '06. We went to the finals. JJ Brea, we won a ring with him.
yep,
Awesome. We need to move on.
yep. I agree.